Negotiating with the Islamic Republic means legitimizing murder. Families inside Iran are begging the world not to waste the blood of their children. They are not asking for compromise, they are asking for the regime's end, said Mitra Jashni in a recent conversation with Olivier Rafovich, former senior IDF spokesperson and security expert, on ILTV Security Brief.
First, thank you very much for having me in your program. That is very, very important these days to be the real voice of Iranian people. And before I start with what happened with this negotiation, I would love to give you a brief about what's going on in Iran at the moment. We are living through history. What is happening in Iran is historical tragedy unfolding in real time. Many Iranians feel they are reliving one of the darkest chapters of their past. The images come out of Iran are among the most horrifying the world has seen.
It is deeply troubling that Zahra Mohajerani, the daughter of Ataullah Mohajerani, a former senior Islamic Republic official who held high-ranking government posts during a period defined by extrajudicial assassinations and enforced disappearances of Iranian dissidents, lives and works in the United States. Ataullah Mohajerani has been accused of justifying the arrest and persecution of Baha'is, legitimizing incitement to murder, and bearing political responsibility during an era of state-sponsored killings. The Islamic Republic cannot be allowed to brutalize an entire nation while quietly embedding the families of its officials in Western democracies, wrote Iranian Americans for Liberty on X. At its staged anniversary rally, the Islamic Republic puts unveiled women and girls in front of the cameras to push a lie that hijab in Iran is voluntary and that the regime is loved across society. The world will never forget the young women who took to the streets 4 years ago, burned their headscarves in defiance, and were killed for daring to demand freedom, wrote Mitra Jashni, executive director of the Farishgar Foundation on X. According to received information, Ali Haidari, a young protester arrested on Thursday, January 8th, in Mashhad's Hafte-Tir district, has been executed by the Islamic Republic without a trial and without access to a lawyer. Reports indicate that from the time of his arrest, his family received no official information about his whereabouts, physical condition, or the legal process against him. Their repeated attempts to seek answers reportedly went unanswered. As of now, no further details have been released about the judicial process, the authority that carried out the sentence, or the location of the execution. Based on received information, Saleh Mohammadi, a 19-year-old wrestler and one of those arrested during the national uprising, has been sentenced to public execution by hanging in Novobat Square in Qom by Branch 1 of the Qom Provincial Criminal Court on the charge of premeditated murder. According to the court's ruling on the evening of January 8, 2026, during clashes between security forces and protesters in Novobat Square in Qom, a member of the special units reportedly fell from his motorcycle and later died due to injuries caused by a blade. The verdict states that the forensic medical report documented 29 wounds on the officer's body, identifying one of them as the fatal injury. The court attributed this wound to Saleh Mohammadi's knife, citing confessions obtained during interrogation as the basis for its conclusion. However, Saleh Mohammadi has denied the charge, emphasizing that the confessions were extracted under pressure. Reports also indicate that CCTV footage did not confirm his identity at the scene of the incident. According to relatives of the young wrestler, he was at his uncle's home at the time of the clashes. Despite the introduction of witnesses, the court reportedly refused to summon them. Additionally, his coaches and teammates have stated that he had never carried a bladed weapon. It is further reported that the court relied on testimony from individuals whose identities were not disclosed in the ruling. The family was allegedly denied the right to choose an independent lawyer, and only a court-appointed attorney was assigned to the case. A newly surfaced video circulating on social media shows a heavy deployment of the Islamic Republic security forces in Bandar Abbas during the nationwide uprising. The footage, dated Thursday, January 8th, captures armored vehicles and motorized units stationed across the city as government forces opened fire on civilians. The scale of the security presence and the use of heavy military equipment in urban streets are clearly visible. Shared reports suggest the deployment in Bandar Abbas coincided with the peak of the day protests and formed part of a broader pattern of the underground crackdowns using military hardware in cities across the country. Videos and messages shared on social media from Iran shows that as the regime held its fireworks marking the anniversary of the 1979 rebellion, citizens in various areas chanted protest slogans from their windows and balconies. Javid Shah, which means long live the Shah, echoes in Tehran. Video shared on social media showed that around 9 p.m. on Tuesday, February 10th, as state-run propaganda fireworks marked the anniversary of the 1979 rebellion, large numbers of Tehran residents began chanting protest slogans across the city. Residents of Tehran's Ekbatan complex responded to the Islamic Republic's anniversary celebrations of the 57 rebellion with anti-regime chants, turning the night into a display of defiance. A video sent from Karaj shows that around 9 p.m. on Tuesday, February 10th, as state-organized fireworks marked the anniversary of the 1979 rebellion, large numbers of residents began chanting slogans and protesting against it. The footage shows people in the streets, as well as from windows and balconies, voicing opposition to the Islamic Republic and its founders. In part of the video, chants of Javid Shah, which means long live the Shah, can be heard.